Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Now, for years, a report on how the Royal Bank of Scotland allegedly forced hundreds of small businesses to the wall has been kept under wraps. Despite repeated requests, the Financial Conduct Authority, which regulates banks, has refused to publish its full findings on the scandal, releasing only a summary last autumn. Tomorrow, MPs are expected to use parliamentary privilege to make it public at last, against the regulator's wishes. Our business editor, Siobhan Kennedy, has seen a leaked copy of that report. Campaigners believe it paints a damning picture of the bank's behaviour, raising serious questions about the judgment of the regulator in withholding it.
We built our property and RBS NatWest supported us.
It was a building venture intended to give her family an income into retirement. Mary Galbraith used a plot of her parents' land in Cornwall to secure a loan from RBS to build 14 rental homes. She borrowed about £1.5 million, but soon after the financial crash in 2008, the bank's approach changed.
And they said that the loan to value is not strong enough for us to continue the rent roll, and we're going to put you into GRG.
Once inside GRG, fees were piled on and things went from bad to worse.
They were far from supportive. They made us sell all of the houses. They made us evict people, so we were not getting the same amount of rent in because they said that our houses would sell better when they were empty.
And it didn't end there.
They had all of the proceeds from the sales all of the rent roll, and we still owe them money. It's wrong. Sorry. We had to evict everybody. It wasn't right what they did to us. We done our best for our village. And that's what we wanted to do. And we did it.
What Mary claims happened was textbook GRG. Since 2013, there have been multiple reports into the unit's practices, including one from the banking regulator itself, which was so concerned it commissioned its own investigation in 2014. And it's that report that is proving so controversial, not least because of what these 300-odd pages reveal about the systematic behaviour inside GRG, but because the banking regulator has steadfastly refused to publish it. Well, Channel 4 News has obtained a copy of that report, and it raises serious questions, not just about the bank, but about the judgment of the banking regulator, Andrew Bailey, himself, for choosing not to publish it. Mr Bailey did issue a summary of its report last autumn, but now the influential Treasury Select Committee has forced him to hand over the whole thing, and they plan to publish it under parliamentary privilege as soon as tomorrow. At issue is how the FCA presented the facts when it issued its summary. While the FCA conceded the behaviour was in places systematic, inappropriate and widespread, it failed to highlight a key conclusion of the full report, that the treatment was part of an intentional and coordinated strategy to focus on GRG's commercial objectives over the interests of its small and medium customers. The FCA summary also explicitly said its conclusions should not be read as criticisms of GRG or RBS. But the full report states GRG management was aware or should have been aware of the issues and did nothing to address them. The full report also highlights a controversial email which told GRG operatives to give customers enough rope to hang themselves. There's no mention of that in the FCA summary. One of the justifications for not publishing the report in full is the fear it could harm those individuals named inside. Yet we now know there are only 3 names published inside this report, all of whom are senior figures inside RBS and all of whom are already closely associated with GRG. They are Stephen Hester, the bank's former chief executive, Derek Sach, the former boss of GRG, and Nathan Bostock, a former head of risk and restructuring, who is now the chief executive of the bank Santander. All three men declined to comment. The FCA denies it watered down its interim summary and says a former judge verified it was a reflection of the full report. As for Mary, her hopes of a comfortable retirement for her and her dad now dashed.
I had to start again, from scratch.
RBS says it can't comment on her case because she's currently going through a complaints process. But it said the regulator's report found no evidence to support claims the bank deliberately pushed businesses into GRG and that customers transferred to the unit were exhibiting clear signs of financial difficulty. The reason all this matters is that GRG cases like Mary and thousands of others like her have for years argued that the full publication of this report could help them prove that GRG's behaviour was widespread and in some instances intentional. Now they want to know why a regulator that was supposed to stand up for them didn't publish those facts as soon as they became apparent. Siobhan Kennedy, Channel 4 News in the City.